right, awesome. So let's get started actually lying down. Should feel nice. You're lying down on your back, and if you want to start, since you might feel a little bit tight in certain areas, you might want to take a little bit of inventory by pointing your toes forward. And maybe that's feeling the tops of your feet, the front of your ankles stretch a little bit more, and then maybe reach your arms overhead. So a nice long body stretch. Maybe grab one wrist and then the other, maybe interlace the fingers, whatever allows you to feel this long line through the front of your body from your fingers to your toes. Stretch that all apart. Take a full breath in. Maybe even open up your mouth. Let out a nice sigh. Take your arms down along your sides. Bend your knees and just heel toe your feet as they're planted on the ground. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider and just knock your knees together. So you start to feel internal rotation of the thighs. And you can feel your low back, your sacrum, maybe start to flatten towards the ground as a result. And then bring your hands to your belly. Close your eyes if that feels okay. And start to visualize the breath as being in three parts. So those three parts would be your belly, your ribs, and then your space from your ribs all the way up to your collarbones. So you have those three parts. So the bottom, the middle, the top. And before we start to do a three-part breath that's intentional and active, I want you to just observe maybe where most of the movement is happening in your torso as you breathe. Just naturally. Try not to change anything, just observe. So with your hands on your belly, do you feel maybe a rise and fall there? Or do you feel more of the expansion happening in your chest, in your ribs? Just take note of it. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to label it. Just become aware as you breathe in and out. And so with your hands on your belly here or somewhere on your torso, preferably your belly if that feels okay. So on either side of your navel here, I want you to think of those three parts. So your belly, your ribs, and call it your chest or your collarbones, right? All the way up to your collarbones. And to take a three-part breath, I want you to think about first breathing in, belly, feel that expand, ribs, all the way up to your chest. And then breathe out so slow, chest, ribs, belly. Do that 3 times together. Breathe in, 3, 2, 1. And then breathe out so slow. 2, 1. Awesome. 2 more times. Breathe in, belly, ribs, chest. And then breathe out, chest, ribs, belly. Last one. Breathe in, belly, ribs, chest. And then slow exhale out. This time, see if you can press a little bit more air out at the bottom. So using the belly muscles to press that air out to get completely empty. So nice. And then take a full breath in. Open up your mouth, slow exhale. So great. And then hug your knees into your chest. Maybe a little rock side to side if that feels good. If you'd like to take the knees a little bit wider, start to roll the ankles, fan out the toes. If you want to take a full happy baby pose, it's a little bit early, but if you're like craving it, if it feels good for your low back, grab your bottom of your feet. And then maybe again, you rock side to side with the knees nice and wide. And hug your knees back into your chest just for a moment. I want you to then stack your knees on top of your hips and then make a 90-degree angle with your legs. So your shins are parallel to the ground. Start to activate the feet. So flex through the ankles. Think about your toes like drawing towards your face. And then press your hands into your thighs. See if you can press your thighs back into your hands. Feel the belly turn on. And then find your breath for 3, 2, 1. I want you to keep your left hand where it is. Extend the right leg long in front of you. Reach right arm up and overhead. So you'll just hover here. Feel the belly work a little bit more. Awesome. And then come back to center, hand to your thigh. And then switch. Left leg goes long, left arm overhead. And then come back to center. We're going to do that a few more times. Extend the right side. Keep pressing that hand into the thigh and then come back to center. And then extend the left side. Come back to center. Last round. Extend the right. Awesome. Extend the left. So nice. Hug the knees into the chest. And then find a little bit of a rock up to a seat. Once you're there, place your right shin in front of the left. Reach the arms up and overhead. Take a big breath in, maybe even interlace the fingers, press them up. Awesome. Now take your hands interlace behind your head. So as you sit up nice and tall here, take your elbows wide. And I want you to just drop your right elbow down. So you're just leaning over to the right. So maybe you get a little bit of a stretch in that left side. In between the ribs, come back up to center, and then drop your left shoulder, yes, your left shoulder is dropping. Your left elbow is gonna lead the way though, over to the left. And then come back up through center. Now take the elbows a little bit wider, maybe cradle your head into your hands as you lift your face, lift your chin. Now keep your hands where they are. Send your elbows forward. Drop your chin to your chest. You might even start to get into those little spaces. Obviously in the back of your neck, maybe in between the shoulder blades. Now think about leading with your elbows. I really want you to like round forward. Draw your elbows down in front of you. So you can get a different stretch here. Maybe a little rock side to side. Now, as you rise back up, take the elbows nice and wide like you did before. Maybe lift your chin again, lift your face. Come back to neutral in the spine. So looking straight ahead, reach the hands up and overhead. Now take the hands behind you, either fingers pointing forward or out to the side. Depends on where your shoulder heads or how they feel, if they feel open or not. Just place them where they want to be and place your feet hips with distance on the ground. Lift your hips up, reverse tabletop. So a stretch in the arms, stretch in the shoulders. Look straight up towards the ceiling or the sky since you're outside. Take one more breath in. So nice. And then drop your seat back down. Take your left shin in front. Sweep the arms out and up. Big breath in. Again, interlace the fingers. Flip the palms up. Maybe even look up for a moment. And then look straight ahead, hands behind your head. Take a breath in, sit up tall. And then as you exhale, dip over to the left side. So we're just going to do that all again, but with the opposite leg in front. And then come back up, over to the right. Come back up. Cradle the head back into the hands, elbows wide, lift the face. And then again, elbows forward first. So like the arms hug the ears or the sides of the head. Now drop chin down towards your chest. And round, round, round forward. Maybe your elbows come down in front of your leg. So nice. And then you'll slowly rise up. Think about the back of your head pressing into your palms. One last time to take the elbows wide, lift the face. Come back to neutral, look straight ahead. And take your hands behind you, reverse tabletop. Lifting the hips up, looking straight up. Take a big breath in. Can you squeeze the back of the legs, the glutes? And then slowly drop back down. Now, cross the legs, but place your hands in front of you. Find downward facing dog. And maybe because you did a little bit of that work with the shoulders and in the neck, your first down dog feels a little bit different than usual. Soften the knees. Maybe rock the hips side to side. Bend one knee and then the other to get a stretch in the back of the calf muscles, or in the calf muscles rather, the back of the leg. Awesome. Take your feet a little bit wider. Walk your hands back towards them. Land in ragdoll pose. You can grab opposite wrist, maybe opposite elbow, and then sway side to side. Let the arms hang, bend the knees a lot to slowly roll all the way up to standing. Find Tadasana. So just let your arms hang, shrug your shoulders to your ears. Allow them to draw back and then down. You're going to do that again. So with intention, draw the shoulders up, bring them back, and then down. You're going to go the opposite way. So take them back, like squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift them up, and then drop them down. Do that one more time. Squeeze them back, up, forward, and down. Sweep the arms out and up. Big breath in to reach up and overhead. And interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, look up. Big inhale. And then look straight ahead. Hands cradle the back of your head. Like before, you're just doing it standing. Take a breath in. Drop the right elbow down. Lean over to the right. Now, you just softly bend your knees here. So like you were almost sitting back into chair pose. We're going to find a little bit of a different movement here. So I want you to slowly start to draw your chin towards your chest. And then you'll round in, draw the elbows in for a moment, like you did when you were in a seat. Nice. Now take the elbows back wide as you roll the left ear over towards the left shoulder, and then you lean over to the left. So you're just starting to create this circle through the front. There we go. Yes. Rolling over to the left and then rising back up to the center. Awesome. Now stand up, take a breath in. I want you to squeeze the glutes as you cradle the head back into your hands, elbows wide. Take a breath in. So nice. And then release, fold forward. Halfway lift here, hands to your shins. And then walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. So nice. Big inhale. Long exhale. Send the right leg up and back. I want you to lift that right leg high. Roll out the ankle, fan out the toes. Bend the right knee. And then see if you can peel that right hip open a bit, but keep pressing down through your right palm. Don't let it lift up off the ground. So you open that hip up. Take one more breath in. And then square the hips off. Step your right foot outside your right hand. If you want to grab that block underneath your left hand, you certainly can. Take a breath in to reach the right arm up. You'll twist over to the right. And if you want, you can drop that back knee down, of course. But take one more breath in. Maybe you can look up towards your right hand and then reach the right hand forward. Let it land inside the foot. Look to your left. Long edge of your mat. Face it. Parallel the feet. Wide leg forward fold. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. So nice. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Think halfway lift. Start to bend through the left knee, that side lunge. Now, if you want a little bit more load here, take the arms out like wings. Straight out to the side. So you really call on the strength of your hips. Take one more inhale. Awesome. Find warrior two to the front. So your right toes turn forward. Arms go out long. Reverse warrior. Right hand will rise. Extended side angle. Maybe forearm to your thigh. Maybe the right hand to a block inside that right leg. And reach your left fingertips overhead, forward. One more breath in right here. So nice. And then it's back to warrior two. Now straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Again, parallel the feet for a moment. Your heels will then come in, toes out, bend your knees, find goddess pose. Either hands to your thighs or bring your hands to your heart. So if you want a little bit more of side body lengthening, more stretch in the chest and the shoulders, your hands can come to your thighs. You'll take that breath in to lift the chest higher. And then as you exhale, dip your left shoulder forward, look over to the right. It might be like that nice juicy stretch in your shoulder blade that sometimes is like hard to find. And then come back to center. And then it's the right shoulder forward. Look to the left. Awesome. Come back through center. Big breath in. Sweep the arms up. Parallel the feet. Exhale, fold forward with nice wide legs. Halfway lift. Frame your right foot. Low lunge here. So nice. Drop the left knee down. Reach the arms up and overhead. Big inhale. Right hand to your left wrist. Lean over to the right. You can find that length maybe in the front of the left hip. And then big inhale to rise up. Right knee comes to meet the left. Hook thumbs overhead, elbows wide, lift the chest. And then walk your hands forward. Tuck your toes, float your knees, pause. Similar to when we were on our back, right? Stay here and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So you enter into that down dog with a little more awareness of your center, with a little bit more strength. Keep that as you breathe in. Maybe even open up your mouth to let out a sigh. Take your feet a little bit wider. Walk your hands back towards them. And then find ragdoll. Maybe again, you grab opposite arms. You can sway side to side. Drop the arms, slowly roll all the way up. You get to do that all again on the other side. Sweep the arms out and up. Big breath in. Bend your knees first. So like you're sitting in a chair, not all the way back, right? But just like a soft bend in the knees. Interlace your fingers above your head. Maybe even look up as you let the chest chin rise. And then look forward, hands behind your head. Now this time you'll lean over to the left. Then you're going to make that circle. So chin towards your chest. Think right elbow going forward. Hug in. And then elbows go wide as you move over to the right. So you're creating a little bit of a circle here. And then you stand all the way up. So nice. Reach hands up and overhead. Big breath in. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Walk the hands forward. Downward facing dog. Once you're there, your left leg will lift up. Roll the ankle. Fan out the toes. Bend the knee. See if you can lift that left hip and let it open up. But see if you can keep the shoulders parallel to the ground. One more big breath in here. And then as you exhale, left foot comes outside the left hand. Right hand can come to a block and then open up, you twist. Left hand will rise. So nice, look up, one more breath in. Reach the left hand forward, let it land inside the foot. Wide leg forward fold, facing the right side of your mat. Let the head drop. Shake it yes, shake it no. Open and close the mouth a few times, soften the jaw. And then take a halfway lift here. Bend through the right knee, that side lunge. If you want more, arms go out to the side. Can the belly draw up and in? Can it stay strong even as you breathe in and out? Awesome. And then warrior two to the front. So left toes turn forward, arms long, right into reverse. Left hand rises. Side angle, forearm to your thigh or hand to a block. Find length from your back foot out through your top hand. One more breath in. Back to warrior two. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet. And then it's heels in, toes out. Bend your knees into that goddess pose. If you want that stretch in the shoulders and the side, again, lift through the chest. This time, right shoulder dips forward, look to the left. Back through center, left shoulder forward, look to the right. Back through center, parallel the feet, sweep the arms up, maybe even look up. Fold forward, nice and wide. Halfway lift. Frame your left foot, right knee will drop. Reach both arms up and overhead. And this time it's left hand to your right wrist. Lean over to the left. So nice, and then back up through center. Left knee comes to meet the right. Hook thumbs overhead, elbows wide, big breath in to let the chest, the face rise. And release. This time, walk the hands forward into a plank, and then just slowly lower onto your belly. Take the hands out a little wider. Take a wide cobra here. So lift the chest up. And then exhale, release down. Take your arms out like a T, palms facing down. And then your forehead for a moment, just bring it down towards your mat. So we start in neutral. Right hand will come under your right shoulder. I want you to roll onto your left side here. So we've done this before. It's a nice place where you can just let that left shoulder open up a little bit more. You can be to any degree that you need it to be. So whether that arm comes closer to the body or it stays straight out, your choice. So as you roll into your left side, you can stay here with stacking the legs long, or if you want more of a twist, bend the right knee, and then maybe that foot comes behind you to the ground. But of course, not a requirement. Another thing that I sometimes like to do is take a block underneath my head, which feels really nice. And then maybe take my right hand to my ankle or the top of the foot. So you start to also get a little bit of a stretch in the quads, the right quads. So it's like a double whammy, probably more like a triple something whammy, but you get a lot going on at once. Stay and breathe for 3. Make it work for you, of course. 2. Last one. Release slowly. Come back to center. Both hands for a moment come underneath the shoulders. Let the forehead drop. Bend both knees and just windshield wiper the legs side to side. Feel the pelvis rock as a result. And then you'll come back to neutral, arms out like that T, palms facing down. And now it's the left hand. It'll come underneath your shoulder. You'll roll onto your right side. Maybe grab that block for your head, little pillow. And then you'll roll onto your side here, and then you pause. And this is enough. And this is exactly what you need. Just breathe, right? If you want a little more, you can bend your left knee, maybe fish for that foot with the left hand to find a stretch in the quads. If that feels like way too much at once, you'll let that go and just come back and pause and breathe. Sometimes it's nice to also have that left hand down in front of you as an anchor, a point of resistance. Maybe close the eyes and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to center. Remove that block if you have it. Take your forehead down, maybe hand over hand, right underneath your forehead. You might even bend your knees and just windshield wiper your feet side to side. And release your legs down. So nice. Go ahead and just then roll onto your back from here. Grab any props you know you'll want to have nearby. And then bend your knees, plant your feet. One final pose just to activate the back of the legs, bridge pose. Keep the back of your head down, lift your hips up. And for me, sometimes I want to take like what I call robot arms here and just bend at the elbows, palms facing in, but fingers are active, spread nice and wide. And then think about your elbows pushing down, feet pressing down evenly, glutes engaging, maybe not like squeezing on for dear life, but they're engaged. Back of the legs are strong. Look up towards the sky. Take one more big inhale right here. Awesome. And then let your low back return. Hands come to your belly. Maybe feet go wide. Knock your knees in. You return to the shape where you started and close your eyes. Come back to your breath. The most important thing that we focus on. Observe it as it flows in and flows out. That natural rhythm, that ebb and flow. And you can take your rest here if this is what your body's craving, keeping your knees bent, or of course you can take your legs nice and long. Arms can come down along your sides, so your shavasana is your time to take what you need. And we often think that rest is not as productive as movement, but this shape allows us to shift that way of thinking. And can you allow this pose to be the most beneficial shape or asana that you have taken? Again, take a breath in. Maybe let the lips part. Slow breath out. Can you observe just the sounds that you hear? Soften your reaction to them. Can you observe your thoughts? Maybe even soften the reaction to those as well. And then observe your breath. As you allow each breath to become just a little bit bigger than the last. Can you feel that energy sort of move through you to initiate movement in the fingers, way down to your toes? And even a rock of the head side to side. Bend your knees, roll to the side of your choice, and bring yourself up to a seat. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Maybe bow your chin towards that space. Honor yourself for showing up. Take a breath in. Slow exhale out. And if you'd like, you can bring your thumb tips to the center of your forehead, lift your chin, lift your face. Remember to be kind to yourself first, so you can then show up and share that kindness with others. Namaste.